What's up? Just JP in our house. Anyway, I went to Kyoto, meet up with some friends and some homies and stuff. Yeah, we just talking and stuff. But anyway, it was four of us had met up at first, and we were walking around Kyoto. And in Kyoto, my God, there are so many women out there. My God, especially for you young guys. I mean, the older guys too, because actually girls out here, they don't care how old you are and stuff. If you're fun, you know, they want to hang out with you and stuff like that, you know, whatever. But we were just talking and stuff, and while we were walking, one of the homies, he was like, "Yo, you know, I pull a lot of girls and get them to my house and whatever, but I just can't seem to, you know, do what I want to do or whatever, something like that, you know." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what do you do?" And he said, "Well, you know, I get a lot of numbers and stuff like that. But when I get to my house, you know, I try to get them, you know, excite them or whatever, you know." And I'm like, "Okay, so what do you do?" And he said, "I just put on Michael Jackson and start moonwalking and stuff." And we all started laughing. We were like, "What? Oh, man, you ain't gonna get no girl in no kind of mood by moonwalking and stuff like that, right?" And he was like, "But I like Michael Jackson. I love it. I love it. His music, and I love dancing and da-da-da." And we were like, okay, but that's not, you know, that's not going to work like that. So anyway, we were walking and stuff, and I said, "You know, what you guys got to do is when you walk, when you looking for women, you got to remember that the best way to see a lot of women at one time is just to stay in one spot, you know, because they're coming for you. If you stay in one spot, they're coming past you, and you get to see all of them." And and then I gave him an example and stuff, you know, and it was funny what happened, but what happened was they're all laughing and stuff. So then I said, "Well, you know, that's all you gotta do is just stop and talk to them, you know, it doesn't matter." And they were like, because I think what it is because my Do You Love Black Men videos, they think that, you know, I'm the Mac and stuff. And I'm like, man, it's easy to just walk up and talk to a girl. You know, I could do that all day. That's nothing. But, you know, all that other stuff, then, you know, you got to, you know, where you want to go and what you want to do. And you got to have all that stuff planned. And usually I don't think that far and stuff, you know. But I said, one of the guys was saying that how it was kind of hard to break the ice and stuff like that. And I started laughing. I'm like, "Break what ice?" And they were like, "You know, when you're talking to women and stuff." And I'm like, "Man, you guys are talking to the wrong women, or you don't know, you know, the right signs." And they were like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" I said, "When you're walking down the street," I said, "when I'm walking down the street anyway, and I see women, I look at a distance, a girl maybe 15 feet, 20 feet away, 90 feet away. I'm looking, you know, so the first thing, especially if they're further away and stuff, then of course, you know, first thing I'm gonna notice the clothes, and as they get a little closer, I get to peep them out way before, you know, we get into, you know, arm distance or whatever." And she's doing the same thing. And I said, "But what you guys are missing is you talking about this ice, breaking the ice and all of that stuff." I said, "You don't have to break the ice if you talk to the women who are looking at you as you walk by." And they're like, "What do you mean?" I said, when they're looking at you, there's a communication right there. And that communication isn't broken. There's nothing there between it. So it's a matter of you talking to her or she talking to you." And so then they were like, well, how do you know if she wants you or not?" And I was like, "Well, why you got to think like that? Stop making up stuff in your head. Just talk to her. You know, either she's going to talk to you or she's not. But I mean, it's a whole lot easier than trying to walk up on some girl that's not looking at you. You know, you talk to the ones that's looking at you first, and you'll probably end up, you know, accomplishing whatever your goal is, you know, a whole lot quicker and stuff." And they were like, "Really, really?" I said, "Yeah, I mean, you know, when a girl looking at you, women don't look at you if they're not attracted to you or whatever, unless you just look funny and stuff, you know, and stuff like that." And they all started laughing and stuff. And then, as the guy said, he had last year he got like 2 girls and stuff, right? But he had a whole bunch of women over his house. And I was like, "Oh, wow, you know, okay, whatever, you know." And one other guy, he was just like loyal to his wife, you know. Another guy, he said he had like 4 girls and stuff, you know. We're like, all right, so I just kept telling them, I said, when you're talking to women and stuff like that, because I'm thinking we said this, I'm not sure, but most guys, they say, well, you talk to the women and if they ugly girls and da-da-da, and I'm like, I don't really try to think of the ugly. I might want to use the word like unattractive or something like that for various reasons and things like that, but that shouldn't matter. You should be able to walk up and talk to the finest women that you see. And they're like, that's kind of hard. I'm like, what's hard about it? Well, I'm thinking. I'm like, don't think. Don't think. You go home and you write down what you want to say. You should have maybe 2 or 3, what are those called? 2 or 3 scenarios and stuff that you might want to use. And, and use those. And if it don't work out. Because I was talking to another friend. I was talking to him, and they said, well, sometimes you get to a conversation, I don't know what to say or something like that. I'm like, what you have to understand is that some conversations will last only 30 seconds, some going to last 5 seconds, some might last the rest of your life. I said you have to understand that. You have to understand that when you go up and you speak to a woman, that there's going to be a time limit based on what you have to say, based on what she has to say, based on your time and everything. So don't worry about that. Just know what you... So in other words, like if you got a 5-second conversation, then you have that 5-second conversation. If you have a 30-second conversation, then you got to know what you want to say in that 30-second conversation. Because last night I was hanging out with some other homies and stuff, and we were talking about that, and they were talking about talking to girls alone some time and stuff. And I said, one said something about like 30 seconds or something. I said, yeah, 30 seconds is a long time, and it's a lot that you can say to a girl in 30 seconds. And so, I could just, here, I'll do a 30-second conversation. Walk up to a girl, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Blah, blah, blah. Where you going? Oh, really? Oh, okay. My name's Ralph. You live here in this town? Oh, really? Okay. Hey, you really cute and all that stuff, He. I say, yeah, I got some free time, so you want to go hang out with me, and you don't ask them, but actually you say, come on, let's go hang out, and they might say yes or no, okay, and then after that, you're like, well, here, give me a number, and I'll call you later, all right, and all right, bam, that's it, 30-second conversation, and that's all you got to do, and within that 30 seconds, there's a lot of communication that's been changed and stuff, and you can always, have them, how can I say that, do the conversation, talk or whatever. You can just take charge of the whole conversation, which is probably better to do, but still. And so then I just told them, I said, you don't, just because you have a 5-second conversation, don't take it as a fail or anything like that, or you didn't accomplish. I said, because the conversation, the communication is communication and stuff. Even if you walk down the street and a girl smiles at you and you smile, that's communication. And it might be only a split second, 5-second communication, but still, it's there, and you can't dispute it, can't dismiss it or anything like that. And they're like, well, I didn't even think about that, So then one of my friends said, what did he say? He said, well, he was talking about his problem, his weight, I guess, or something like that. And I was like, man, listen, you guys are making up all these excuses why you can't talk to women instead of just talking to them. What do you need? Your weight has nothing to do, the weight, your confidence, none of that stuff has nothing to do with your ability to open up your mouth and produce some sounds and stuff like that that's, people can understand. It don't matter. People that don't have confidence still talk, and they still try. You're thinking about all this stuff. All you have to do, like I said 1,000 times already, is just write down and have what you want to say. And you can say it, and if you're nervous, I can understand that. And if you, if you, whatever, have being nervous and talking to a beautiful woman, that's, well, actually, it's not normal. It's kind of strange and stuff, because you shouldn't have that. But nowadays guys are kind of weak and stuff, and they don't know how to talk to females and stuff, which is strange. But anyway, So anyway, that's it, you know. But I got a part 2. I'll tell you about that later. Peace.